Officers, with all due respect, this family is in mourning. Please let them through. The boys' service begins in less than 20 minutes. Aw, hell. Now we got the church involved. What next? Angel's gonna fly down and part traffic? Or maybe the dead kid will rise and walk his own coffin to the cemetery. That'd save us some damn time.
I gasped. You didn't just say that.
What? You people act like you're above the law because someone croaked? Kid or not, you're blocking traffic like a bunch of entitled crybabies. This is despicable. You are mocking the deceased. Relax, Padre. What's in the coffin anyway? Want to open it and make sure y'all aren't smuggling drugs? A lot of these so-called funeral convoys are just a cover. Are you insane? That's my son in there. That's so? Shame. Must have done something to end up dead that young. Probably karma. I see it all the time. Brats, gangs, drugs, then boom, funeral. Sad story. But hey, at least you get the day off work.
I stepped out of the van, shaking. He was an innocent child, hit by a drunk driver. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Watch your tone, ma'am. That sound like resisting to me. Maybe we should search every car. What y'all hiding, huh? Pills? Fentanyl? Bunch of lowlifes using a funeral to look clean. Yeah, they think 'cause they got a priest and some flowers, they're untouchable.
People were crying again. I never thought the day we buried Jacob would begin with sirens. He was only 8, my only son, taken by a drunk driver on his way home from school. We were supposed to be driving toward peace, toward closure, not chaos. But peace has a way of running late when power is in the wrong hands. We were halfway to the cemetery, 20 cars deep in a solemn convoy, headlights on, hazard lights blinking, as if trying to blink back tears. I sat in the front passenger seat of my sister's minivan. She was driving, her knuckles bone white on the steering wheel. My husband sat behind her, eyes hollow, holding Jacob's favorite action figure. Then came the sirens. Blue and red exploded in our mirrors. I remember thinking, maybe they're giving us an escort, until I saw the scowl. A squad car cut across the road and forced us onto the shoulder like we were criminals.
Who the hell do y'all think you are causing traffic like this? This ain't a damn parade.
My sister rolled down the window, her hands shaking.
We're heading to my nephew's funeral. He died?
I don't care if you're headed to Jesus himself. You don't own the damn road.
Cars behind us started stopping too. One by one, mourners stepped out. Confused, grieving, clutching tissues and framed photos. My aunt tried to explain. The funeral director waved the permit. None of it mattered.
Permit? That looks like something you printed from your grandma's computer. Y'all think you're special because someone died? Yeah, boo-hoo. Cry me a river. I got real criminals to catch, not traffic clowns with hearses. Officers, with all due respect, this family is in mourning. Please let them through. The boys' service begins in less than 20 minutes. Aw, hell. Now we got the church involved. What next? Angel's gonna fly down and part traffic? Or maybe the dead kid will rise and walk his own coffin to the cemetery. That'd save us some damn time.
I gasped. You didn't just say that.
What? You people act like you're above the law because someone croaked? Kid or not, you're blocking traffic like a bunch of entitled crybabies. This is despicable. You are mocking the deceased. Relax, Padre. What's in the coffin anyway? Want to open it and make sure y'all aren't smuggling drugs? A lot of these so-called funeral convoys are just a cover. Are you insane? That's my son in there. That's so? Shame. Must have done something to end up dead that young. Probably karma. I see it all the time. Brats, gangs, drugs, then boom, funeral. Sad story. But hey, at least you get the day off work.
I stepped out of the van, shaking. He was an innocent child, hit by a drunk driver. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Watch your tone, ma'am. That sound like resisting to me. Maybe we should search every car. What y'all hiding, huh? Pills? Fentanyl? Bunch of lowlifes using a funeral to look clean. Yeah, they think 'cause they got a priest and some flowers, they're untouchable.
People were crying again, but not from grief this time. From humiliation. Rage. My aunt sobbed into her scarf. One of my cousins pulled out her phone, shouting she was calling internal affairs. Officer number 1 snatched her phone and slammed it onto the hood.
Go ahead, report it. You think anyone's gonna care about your complaints? We run this town.
Then came a voice, calm, deep, solid. It cut through the chaos like a blade through fog.
That's enough.
A tall man stepped out from the fourth car back. Dark suit, badge flashing silver in the sunlight. Not local, something higher. I saw both officers freeze.
I'm Deputy Commissioner Nathaniel Ross, State Police, Tennessee Division. I've been quietly observing your behavior, and I'm sickened. Sir, this isn't what it looks like. You thought no one important was watching. You thought these people had no power. You thought grief made them weak. You were wrong.
He turned toward my sister, softening.
Ma'am, I'm deeply sorry for your loss. Please continue your procession. I'll personally escort you the rest of the way.
As we pulled back onto the road, I watched in the mirror. Nathaniel stayed behind, talking to the officers, his phone out. The red glow of a recording app visible. His unmarked vehicle had a dash cam blinking too. Good. We drove in silence, but a different kind of silence now. Not just grief, but something close to justice. I thought that was the end of it, but karma doesn't knock once and leave. It comes back for dinner. I buried my son with a storm in my heart. There should have been nothing but sorrow, but that day on the road, what those officers did to us, taunting, shouting, mocking the dead, I couldn't stop thinking about it, even as we lowered Jacob into the earth. And then, the world saw it too. By the time we got home from the cemetery, my niece ran in breathless, clutching her phone like it was on fire.
Aunt Tasha, it's online. Everything. Someone recorded it.
My hands trembled as I watched. There we were, pulled over, the hearse, the priest. My brother trying to reason with those monsters. And then Officer Cole, smirking, sneering, pointing at the casket.
Unless that boy's gonna rise from the dead, move this junk pile. You think you're special because someone died? So what? Boo-hoo.
That line, that one line shattered something inside me. The video spread like wildfire. 1 million views overnight, then 2 million. People were furious. But Nathaniel Ross, he did more than get mad. He got to work. 3 days later, he stood in our living room in plain clothes. No ego, no pretense. Just a man with a hard face and kind eyes.
I want to do this right, but I can't do it alone. If anyone from the procession has more footage, please send it to me directly. We're building something.
And they did. One by one, cell phone videos poured in. He watched hours of it. Painful, shaky, blurry footage, stitched together from strangers who'd come to say goodbye to my baby. Some filmed from side mirrors, others recorded with trembling hands while crying. But it wasn't just us. A young couple came forward next. Their clip, dated the same morning as Jacob's funeral, showed Officer Cole pulling over a car for driving 3 miles over the limit.
Baby seat too small. Kid's probably gonna die anyway. That's another ticket. Go cry on Facebook.
Next was dashcam footage from a Good Samaritan who regularly recorded traffic stops. This one showed Officer Tully yelling at a homeless man who'd wandered too close to a gas station.
You smell like sewage had a baby. Crawl back to your garbage heap before I make you disappear.
Then came an elderly veteran with one leg in a wheelchair. He'd been stopped for a busted taillight.
I ain't got time to babysit old war trash. Crawl faster, Grandpa. You want a hand or a ticket?
I wept watching it, not just for them, for all of us. How many had suffered in silence? Nathaniel compiled it all, labeled, time-stamped, presented it to the department in a sealed report that shook the foundations of the city. And then, he went public. The news conference was held at City Hall. Nathaniel stood flanked by my husband and me, our attorney, and a few of the brave people who had shared their clips. I could barely keep my legs steady, but I didn't want to hide. I wanted the world to know what they did to my son's memory.
Officers Jarrett Cole and Dwayne Tully's behavior during a funeral procession wasn't a one-time lapse. What you're about to see spans months of unchecked cruelty, abuse of power, and vile misconduct. These videos come not from body cams, but from citizens. Citizens who were mocked, degraded, and humiliated.
The projector came on. One by one, the world saw what we saw. Gasps. Silence. Rage Cole mocking a woman for wearing a headscarf. Tully searching a black teen's backpack while laughing.
Looking for your future? Don't bother, it's prison.
A protest broke out that same evening. By nightfall, both officers had been suspended. By morning, they were arrested. The trial was held 3 months later, but the courtroom felt like judgment had already begun. Cole looked bloated and bitter. Tully's eyes darted like a rat's. Their lawyer tried to play the usual tune: stressful job, momentary lapses, out of context. Then the prosecution hit play on the funeral video again. This time, the court saw everything. My son's white casket gleaming in the sun, my husband sobbing, the priest trying to speak.
You hiding drugs in there? That what this is? A fake funeral just to cause traffic? Move your parade before I arrest the whole block for loitering with a corpse.
A juror covered her mouth. A woman in the audience stood up and walked out in tears. Even the judge looked pale. But it wasn't just the videos. Testimony followed. Yolanda, a former escort, testified that Officer Cole routinely used department funds to pay for motel rooms while on duty. Malik, a mechanic, confirmed he saw Officer Tully collecting envelopes from a known drug dealer twice a month. 2 retired officers described a pattern of bullying and silencing complaints within the department, saying Cole and Tully were protected because of their numbers and how they got results. But Nathaniel Ross, he delivered the final blow. He read from their own text messages, seized during investigation.
I should have knocked that priest's collar off, thinking he had authority. That fat woman with the dead kid made my day seeing her cry like that.
That was the moment Cole realized it was over. He shrank in his chair. No more smirks, no more sunglasses indoors. I wore a black dress, the same one from the funeral. I wanted to remember what they tried to take from me. The judge looked straight at them.
You mocked grief. You extorted the weak. You disgraced your uniforms. You didn't just abuse power. You committed emotional violence against people in their most vulnerable moments. You will serve 10 years with no chance of early parole.
Tully broke into tears. Cole cursed. The bailiffs dragged them out while cameras clicked and people cheered. Outside, the crowd roared as news vans blared.
Justice served for grieving family. Officers who mocked funeral convoy. Sentenced for abuse and corruption.
I didn't cheer. I just looked up at the sky and whispered to Jacob, "They can't hurt anyone else, baby." Mommy made sure. Justice didn't end at the courtroom steps. For men like Officer Cole and Officer Tully, prison wasn't just confinement, it was reckoning. They walked into that place with arrogance still clinging to their skin like cheap cologne. But the inmates there, they knew exactly who had arrived. The guards didn't lift a finger. See, karma had a long memory, and so did the men on the inside. Cole lasted 4 days before someone spat in his food. Tully, he tried to act tough. That didn't last either. The turning point came 2 weeks into their sentence during chow. A tall, broad-shouldered man named Reggie Tone Fields sat across from Cole, real calm-like.
Remember me, Officer Smirk?
Cole tried to play dumb, mouth twitching, fork frozen halfway to his lips. But Reggie leaned in closer.
2017. You planted coke in my glove box when I couldn't afford your protection fee. I did 5 years while my daughter went into foster care. Guess what? I'm out in 2 months. But you're here for 10.
Cole went pale. That night, he was found in the shower, face bloodied, ribs cracked. No one saw who did it. Tully didn't fare much better. Rumors spread fast in prison. They knew about the homeless vet he mocked. They knew about the escort he used and threatened. They knew he once told a young black teen, "I'll make sure you don't graduate." Now, Tully was the one hiding in corners, eyes darting like a hunted animal. One evening, he was nearly assaulted in the prison bathroom by 3 inmates who cornered him with mocking smiles.
Let's see how Officer Tough Guy likes being powerless.
He screamed, crying, begging, clawing to escape. A guard heard and intervened. But the message was clear. Both men filed for protective custody, isolation. No more strutting, no more sunglasses, no more barking orders behind a badge. Just fear, silence, and 10 long years of it. Their families? Gone. Officer Cole's wife filed for divorce after she watched his texts and videos play out on national news. His 2 sons blocked him on everything. Officer Tully's parents told reporters they were ashamed to share a name with him. His brother changed his number. 10 years may be the sentence. But to them, it felt like life. Every second, a reminder. Every shadow, a threat. Every night, a punishment far greater than any they had ever written on a traffic ticket. And me? I lived. I breathed. I visited Jacob's grave every week, fresh sunflowers in hand, and sat in silence. The hate didn't consume me, because I gave it a name. I gave it a story. I gave it justice. Thanks for watching this true story of grief, cruelty, and ultimate revenge. If this story moved you, inspired you, or just made you believe in karma again, do well to subscribe for more amazing stories. Like, comment, and share justice. Because every voice matters, even the ones crying behind a coffin.